Hello and welcome to my kitchen. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make Bateta Vada, which is a spicy fried potato ball. It's vegan and gluten-free and very delicious. This recipe comes from a couple of aunties actually. One's my mother-in-law, one's my aunt in Winnipeg, and the other is my aunt in Detroit. So let's get cooking. Oh, and don't forget to watch till the end because I've got a great tip for you on how to use up the extra batter. Now, let's get cooking. For the potato filling, you'll need 6 medium white potatoes weighing between 900 grams and 1 kg. I prefer to use white potatoes. 1 teaspoon of ginger garlic chili paste, a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon powder, a pinch of clove powder, 2 3/4 teaspoons of salt, and you can start off with 2 teaspoons if you think that's too much for you, 1 1/2 teaspoons of sugar, 3 tablespoons of chopped coriander, 3 tablespoons of chopped onions, 2 to 3 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice, and I'm going to add some chopped up cashew nuts. If you like peanuts, you can add peanuts, and you can add sultanas as well, but make sure they're chopped up. For the tempering, I have 2 tablespoons of oil, 1 teaspoon of mustard seeds, 1 teaspoon of sesame seeds, and a 1/2 teaspoon of hing or asafoetida. And for the batter, you'll need 2 cups or 200 grams of chickpea flour, 4 tablespoons of rice flour, 2 teaspoons of red chili powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of chopped coriander, a 1/2 teaspoon of lemon juice, and I'll also be adding 2 teaspoons of the hot oil before I'm frying. I'll add that to the batter. 400 ml or 1 2/3 cups of cold water. And you'll need oil for deep frying. I'm using sunflower oil. Now all these ingredients are available on my website, milhan.com. The first thing we're going to do is to prepare the potato filling. So to do that, once our potatoes are peeled and washed, we're going to slice them up into about 3/4 of a centimeter slices. Then we're going to put them into a pan of water and we're going to boil them until they're cooked. I haven't added any salt to the potatoes while we're boiling them. And I find that when you peel the potatoes and slice them up like this, it helps to release the starch, and the mashed potato that you get is a lot more crumblier and not sticky and gluey. When you boil potatoes with the skin on, you'll end up with a much more gluier texture in the potato. Another trick to not having gluey potatoes is once they're boiled and you mash them, don't mix them up too much. If you keep mixing them, they'll get really gluey and your potato balls will not be good. So we're just gonna wait for these to cook. We're gonna remove all the moisture and then I'll show you what to do with them. My potatoes have been on the stove here for a good 15 minutes now, and you can see that there's a lot of scum that's collected on the top, and that's gonna be the starch that we'll be getting rid of once we drain it. You can tell when the potatoes are cooked when you stick a knife in it and it doesn't give you any resistance and it's easy to break. So this one's easy to break here, quite easy. So I'm going to get ready to drain them. We don't want any water in there at all. While my potatoes are cooling down so that I can handle them, I'm going to talk to you about potato mashers. Now traditionally I've used one of these handheld potato mashers, but I've since discovered this gadget, which is a potato ricer, and I absolutely love this. Whenever I can, I just use this. You just put your potatoes into here and push down and your potato will come out consistent and very, very smooth. I also have one of these hand blenders, which is really good. I've never used this up until very recently because I was cleaning out my kitchen and I thought I'd throw this away if I don't use it. But it's actually a hand blender potato masher, and this works very well as well. it is actually a potato ricer that you can mash potatoes with. So let me show you how this potato ricer works. All right, so you put your potatoes in here, just like that. And then you just push down and watch the magic. And this way you get 0 lumps in anything that you make that's to do with potatoes. It comes out so good. I highly recommend this. Now, if you don't have a potato ricer, don't worry, just use your potato masher and mash up all the potatoes, but just remember not to overmix. Now that my potatoes are all mashed and ready, I'm going to do the tempering. And I want to get the tempering ready because I want to mix all the ingredients in one shot. So go ahead and get a small saucepan and put it on to heat. Once it's heated up a little bit, I'm going to add the oil and let the oil heat up. Then add your mustard seeds. Don't forget to have a lid handy. So when you hear plenty of popping, go ahead and add the sesame seeds and the hing or asafoetida. And then add your cashew nuts and just quickly let them fry in there. I'm going to turn off the heat as well at this point. This way the cashew nuts are fried before they're added to the mashed potato mixture. They're starting to get nice and toasty in here. So I'm going to throw this mixture into the mashed potato. And I'm going to add all the other ingredients. So just sprinkle everything in there. The coriander, the onions, the spices, everything. And the lemon juice. Then mix it with a spoon because you just added some very hot oil in here. You don't want to burn yourself. Gently mix it. Then once it's incorporated, you can mix it with your hands. Remember not to over mix it. And then go ahead and taste it to make sure that it's to your liking and add anything you feel like you need to add. It should be nice and sweet and sour and spicy. It's perfect for me. Then we're going to make the balls. So I like to use a gadget like this, which is a mini potato, mashed potato scooper. I don't know what these things are called, but they're scoopers. This one's a small one. It's about a good tablespoon's worth. And I'm actually going to make a rounded spoon so that they're not too small. But this way they all turn out the same size, you know? So just put some of the mix into your hand and make balls equal sized. This mix should make about 40 potato balls. So mine are about 1 inch in diameter. Now I've added raw onion in here. If you don't like raw onions, then what you can do is actually just throw them in when you've added the cashew nuts in the tempering, and they'll cook up just the right amount. Or if you don't like raw onions or onions at all, just don't put them in. It's totally fine. Almost done. Once you've shaped all your potato balls, then go ahead and put some oil onto heat. I'm using sunflower oil. So you want about an inch deep of oil in there. While the oil is heating up, we're gonna mix the batter together. So I'm gonna add the chickpea flour, the rice flour. Just mix that in. Add the chili powder, salt, sugar, and the fresh coriander. Mix that in. And add the lemon juice. Just a little bit of lemon juice and a little bit of sugar gives you that little taste that keeps you wondering, these taste so good. And then add the water and mix the batter together. I like to use a whisk to mix, just to smooth out any lumps that are in there. So I have my batter mixed here. Now, you don't want a very thick batter because then you'll just keep tasting the batter, and you don't want a very thin batter because if you have a thin batter, then what will happen is the coating won't be like strong enough, and the oil will seep through and the mashed potato will go everywhere in your oil. So it has to be just right. Now this consistency looks good to me. And we add a couple of drops of oil into here, some of this hot oil. So I'm going to try and add like about 2 teaspoons of oil in here. Because this is a slotted spoon, it's going to take me a little while. And mix that in. And the reason we add the oil, hot oil, into the mixture is so that when you fry the potato balls and you bite into them, it's not like a stretchy feeling. It's nice and tender. So that's why we add the oil in here. It's in Gujarati we say it's farsu. Okay. So my batter is ready. I think my oil is ready. I've got my potato balls here. I've got some newspaper with paper towels, and I've got my slotted spoon, so we're ready to fry. So I'm just going to dip a couple of potato balls into the batter. I'm going to start with 4. And I'm just going to roll it in there, and then I'm just going to pick it up with 3 fingers and drop it into the oil. And when they're a nice golden color, go ahead and remove them with your slotted spoon onto your tray that you have ready to drain them off. And remove all these little bits that you see in the oil so you have clean oil. Now when you're frying, you want to make sure the potato balls don't stick to each other, otherwise you'll have to separate them, and that's when you get the holes in the batter and the potato mixture starts to go everywhere. It seems like one of mine has split up, so you can hear a lot of spattering. The best thing to do in that case is to remove it. And clean the oil with a sieve. So don't add too many balls to the oil unless your pan is really big, otherwise they will stick together. So 4 or 5 balls I think is good for the size of pan that I have here. I hope you guys are enjoying all the tips that I'm trying to give you, and if you are, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Now I just got done frying all my potato balls and I have a bunch of batter left. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of semolina to this, and I'm gonna put some onions in here, and we're gonna make some onion bhajis as well. So I've got about 1.5 tablespoons of semolina there. Mix that in, and that will thicken the consistency a little bit. And they'll make the onion bhajis really nice and crispy. I've got some onions here, and we can always add more onions if we need to. I'm going to add a pinch of garam masala to this as well, just a little bit. And then just drop little handfuls into your hot oil. What a treat this is gonna be. These potato balls go really well with my fresh tomato chutney and green chutney, so don't forget to check out those videos as well. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you all again soon for some more cooking inspiration. Really good. Mm.